Thank you. Danny's services will be this Friday and Saturday. The entire community is asked to wear red, Danny's favorite color, so to show support to his family and friends. Once we have more information about the other student, we will share that information. So just please keep both families in your prayers and thoughts as we move forward. So the next thing is a proclamation for National Family Literacy Day. So I'd like to read a proclamation for National Family Literacy Day, November 1st, 2025. National Family Literacy Day, established by the 103rd Congress in 1994 and now marking the 31st anniversary on November 1st, 2025, highlights the importance of reading and learning for the entire family and emphasizes the impact that parents have on their child's learning. This day is celebrated across America each year and focuses on special activities and events that showcase the importance of family literacy programs that empower families and build a nation of readers. Literacy programs across the United States will observe National Family Literacy Day by holding a readathon, book drives, workshops, and family activities at schools, libraries, and community centers to encourage literacy. As many of 1 in 6 adults struggle with reading and writing, and by learning to read, individuals can gain self-respect and confidence and strive toward goals that otherwise would not be available. The National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution is a non-for-profit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children and adults. Education being one of the cornerstones of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Village of Manhattan is committed to increasing literacy by promoting and supporting literacy programs. To underscore the importance of literacy, celebrate the joy of reading, encourage residents to promote literacy by reading together as a family, and to extend deep appreciation to our local libraries, educators, and literacy service providers for their tireless efforts strengthen the literacy of our children and our community. So I'm Mike Adrianson, Mayor of the Village of Manhattan, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2025, National Family Literacy Day in the Village of Manhattan. So, thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing for a subdivision that's going to be coming in here, it looks like. So I'd like to entertain a motion to open a public hearing for an ordinance authorizing the execution of an annexation agreement with Skyline Real Estate Development, LLC, which is Butternut Ridge South.
Motion. Second.
Okay, roll call.
Behina. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Dilling.
Yes.
Neighbors.
Yes.
Doyle.
Yes.
Okay, this was actually on the agenda last meeting, and we tabled it to this meeting just for reference. So I believe the attorney for the project is in the audience. Would you like to come up and do a presentation for us really quick?
Good evening. Nathaniel Washburn with KGG LLC. I'm the attorney for the applicant. We presented this last week at Plan Commission. This is a 41-lot residential subdivision immediately south of the existing Butternut subdivision. We're looking for approval of the annexation agreement, the associated zoning and plats. This is again, 41 lot, it'll be residential. These lots by agreement are slightly larger than the current zoning standards would require. There was some negotiation over the exact terms that would be included. There were some concessions back and forth, but these are on the whole larger lots, larger homes, and more substantial improvements than would have been typically required either by the current village ordinance or previous subdivisions that have been passed. Certainly happy to answer any questions that any of the commissioner, village board members may have, but
I apologize. Do we have to have him swearing in? Or just anyone from the public?
We provided testimony
Okay.
At the time of planning and zoning commission, if you want.
I'm happy to be sworn in again.
Well,
Swearing in
should we do
again.
everybody at once, or if anyone else would like to
Well,
speak?
see-
Okay, all right.
see who else could speak. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Do you attest that everything you stated prior to being sworn in is true and accurate?
I do.
Thank you. Just want to be clear on everything. Okay, anyone, the board have any questions? And anyone from the public like to speak? All right, can I entertain I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing for an ordinance authorizing the execution of an annexation agreement with Skyline Real Estate Development LLC, which is Butternut Ridge South.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Young,
Yes.
Dilling,
Yes.
Neighbors,
Yes.
Doyle,
Yes.
Bahina. Yes.
Okay, motion carries. First item on the, next item on the agenda is the public comments. Andrea, is it Baumhart? Baumhart, please come up.
Thank you. My name is Andrea Baumhart, I live in Rancho. I know it's not part of the village, but I'm here.
Thank you. A little bit loud, sorry. Andrea Baumhart, and I live in Ranch Oaks. I first want to just give my condolences to everybody who was involved with that tragic accident last night. I have no words that are adequate to go any further than that. Everything that I've read breaks my heart. With that said, though, in thinking about my community and where I live, and my family has lived in Manhattan just shy of 20 years now, I can't help but feel that our community is being poached on many different sides. We've got a solar development taking over almost all of Wilton Center that nobody knew about. There's a data center proposed for up here by the Speedway in Joliet, not far from my house, that's going to be on 800 acres. And we have massive truck traffic going right through the middle of our town. And I just feel we're getting it like left, right, and right through the middle. And I'm very concerned about the state of my community right now. I'm here specifically to speak about the data center. I went to the Joliet meeting on October 16th. I know it was advertised that they were going to defer the meeting to a later date, but I went anyway, just to see what was going to be said and what was going to be talked about, to see what other concerns that other citizens might have brought to the table, and to make sure that it was indeed deferred. And they did defer it to November 20th. But I don't know if I can ask questions here, but I just wanted to ask if anyone was present at that meeting on October 16th for that Joliet Plan Commission.
So usually we allow residents to speak, it goes into the record, and then
Okay.
shortly right after the meeting, we will all be here, we can
Okay.
certainly answer those questions and have a dialogue, and, you know,
Okay.
if it goes too long, we can go to a meeting as well. That's usually how
I
we
understand.
structure it.
Okay, I'm not here to beat anyone up over this. I'm just here to make some statements and ask some questions that I have some concerns about. I went to that meeting because I'm very concerned about the water usage. I know that data centers use an awful lot of groundwater, and I'm on well, my neighborhood's on well, I know a lot of Manhattan is on well, and the water consumption that I've read about from data centers is massive. Joliet had a lot of residents speak about the water issue and other health issues. I don't know that they have ordered any studies, and I think it's important that as a community, we are pressuring them to have these studies performed by that data center company to see how it's going to impact us. Yorkville just asked the data center that's coming into their community to fund their own water study. It was $250,000. So if studies are conducted, I don't think it should be footed by the taxpayers. I think those companies coming in need to shoulder those expenses and see how it's going to affect us long term, because what do we pay in the end? Like, are our water prices and usage going to be affected? And just being on a well myself, I worry about the water table going dry. Something else that I wanted to bring up, there was a gentleman there that spoke a couple times, and he just kept going up to the mic, and he mentioned that there are some data centers that brought up all the power to the nuclear power plants in the area at a very high price for years to come. I don't know if that's true. If that is true, I have concerns about that, because then where is our power going to come from, and what is going to power that data center if that comes to fruition? How is that going to affect our energy costs going forward? How is that going to affect our water and energy availability as a community? So I'm hoping that you guys will be in close communication with Joliet and Joliet Township and pressuring them to conduct those studies and report back to us about what we need to be aware of and any communications that we could help make going forward. Because I'm devastated by learning about all this. I feel this is like going right behind my neighborhood. And I know I live in the township and I'm not in the village, but I would argue that a lot of people move to the village because of the serenity of the township, and we all care about what's going on in our community and what happens to our community with the solar and the data center and the heavy truck traffic, and all these things need to be thought about, considered, and addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, Liz, is it Lemur? Lemur. Thank you. If you need more time, I'll just pause you if it goes past the limit, and then
That's fine.
we can agree to give you more time. It just
I'll try to keep it brief. I also want to give my condolences to the families that both lost their children this week. My own son was hit by a car last year. Sorry, I'm not a good public speaker. No, my own son was hit by a car last year. I live at 785 East North, and he was hit right in front of my house. And thankfully he had a helmet on, so he had minor injuries. That moment will forever live in me. It's traumatic, and I can't imagine what these feelings are feeling. I've lived there for 10 years. 2.5 of those years I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was able to watch all the cars coming into town, flying into town. When I first moved in, there weren't many of them being pulled over. That has drastically changed over the years. I give a lot of credit to the police department. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. I have seen the reduction of trucks coming through. I have seen truck enforcement out. Just today, after getting my kids off the bus and running to Burcott's, I saw 2 semis pulled over within the back and forth to Burcott's. I do think you guys are doing a great job. I guess my concerns, after my son was hit, I went to court. I was there in Joliet listening to ticket after ticket after ticket after ticket from Manhattan. These truck drivers don't seem to be aware that they cannot be on that route. If you look at a map, I can reference, I have pictures on my phone that it appears to be about a mile section where trucks over 65 feet cannot be there. Which, to my knowledge, from listening to all these court cases, is a 53-foot truck with a sleeper cabin attached in the front is an indicator that they can't be here. And all these drivers were saying they didn't know. They have to listen to their company's routes, and the company tracks them with the GPS, and this is what they have to follow. And they were told by the judge, you have to go to www.gettingaroundillinois.com to find your correct route. And these drivers all are not doing that, and I understand to have a CDL, that's part of your responsibility. I also understand as a human, you're going to do what your boss tells you to do and just do it. My concern is that is a short amount, so there's no signs. I've heard at other village meetings that the signs were put up and the state took them down because it's a state route. My concern is how do we work with the state to get that, because these trucks can't be coming through. They can't be killing our kids. My other concern is just the routes in general. If you're going south on 52, that restriction starts after Smith Road. So if you're going south and you want to avoid that, you now have to go east onto Smith past 2 of our schools, where children are walking and biking. Not only, just from everywhere, from all the subdivisions and from White Feather and from Foxford and from Stonegate and everywhere. So that's not a good alternative. And we need to find a better alternative. Coming into town, just today I was thinking, I didn't have more time to the parents who have to stop me, but just coming into town, going through the intersection at Cedar, it's always been a concern of mine, the speed drops from 55 to 30 within half a mile. I think a lot of people see the speed and they're just going, because when they're going past my house, they're fine. They do not hit their brakes until they're at least 2 doors past my house, and we're all on at least an acre, and then they hit their brakes when they realize they're in a town. There needs to be more signage. I once requested radar. I think the police chief at the time just wanted to shut me up and put it out there for a week. But I think the technology has increased since then. I think we can put a solar power radar like we do have in Foxford now, alerting people, you need to slow down. You are coming into a village. There are children here. I don't know if rumble strips are an option. I don't know what the options are. And as far as trucks coming into town on Manhattan Money, going west of Cedar, there's no reason for them to come there. It's all residents that live there. And once you get to 52, you got to go north or south, and you're not supposed to be there considering the size, depending on the size. And I would like to see maybe, I don't know what can be done, but maybe signage saying, don't even bother going through this intersection because you got nowhere to go. There's houses, and then north and south, you're done. So I would just like to find out how to work with the village and getting that done, and maybe going through the state as well. I've called Anthony DeLuca's office about this. I haven't emailed, and I'm learning now that emails are important. Going on record is important. And I just want to fix this for our kids. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is it Megan?
Yeah.
I couldn't read it.
Yeah, sorry, I was scribbling.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, my name is Megan Miner. Yesterday morning I was real fired up about coming in to chat with everybody today, and then after the events of yesterday, I'm not sure that my comments will be as well received, but I do think that it's at least worth it to get on record. I've been a resident of Manhattan since early 2021 in the White Feather subdivision, and the reason I wanted to speak tonight was because at the last board meeting there was a resolution to apply for the state's Safe Route to School program, which, from what I understand, is actually really it's a grant through the state that would help us improve our paths so that residents can safely get to school riding their bikes and walking. Given the events of yesterday, I am sort of editing my own statements. Initially, I was going to ask you to reconsider even applying. It seems as though, and I realize we're in the early stages of that application, but given the communication that residents of White Feather received, it seemed as though they were going to create a path from White Feather so that our students could walk or bike to MIS and MJHS, which seems like a good idea on the surface. However, on the flip side, our school district, which is having some trouble with buses, will very likely cut the service to White Feather for students at MIS and MJHS. The State of Illinois School Code 5/29-3 states that a school district's responsibility in regards to transportation hinges on this distance of 1.5 miles. Within that time, within that distance, the school does not have to provide free transportation. And given some of the issues that the school district is having with our bus company, I don't think that paying for buses would be an option. We don't live in a climate that like our kids could walk to school every day. It rains, even in a mist, they're gonna be soaked by the time they get there. And it's cold, and currently this time of year, my MIS student would have to leave at 6:50 to get to school, and it's still dark out. So I realized that the program would increase the path, would probably put up some lights, maybe a crossing guard or whatever. But I just want to make the board aware, and I did email Superintendent Ahern to sort of verify this, and he did say that he would expect some changes to the bus should this path be completed. My issue is, I think especially with the things that have happened and how many kids that we have and, you know, wanting a safe route. 52 is not safe, period. Turning left out of my subdivision to get on 52 is like, whew, you know. So thinking about kids on that route is terrifying. But the survey that the school sent us says nothing about service, bus service, and I think that they are willingly misleading us. Maybe not willingly, maybe not, but given some of the issues and some of the neighbors that I've spoke with, everyone seems in favor of a path, but no one realizes that once we have the path, it puts us in that magical 1.5 mile distance to where the buses won't have to service us. And ultimately, I think we pay too much in taxes to lose services. I think this administration has put up a lot of really awesome projects, and I look forward to see how we take some of our tragedy and make that, and improve that. So maybe we apply for this grant and we use it to put something on Smith Road by the school, especially if there's going to be increased traffic. I don't know. But whatever happens with that application, I think at least the school, and I know you guys are different, right? But in this particular instance, the village applying for this grant helps the school district. And I just don't know if the village board is aware that residents of one of our densely populated subdivisions will very likely lose bus service for 2 out of our 4 schools. So I just wanted to make that apparent to everybody. And then also, again, maybe we use those funds and we explore other ways. The application requires resident feedback and surveys, so it seems like there's been a discussion to where we think we're going to put it in at White Feather. I think the residents need to be aware that if we do that, we're losing bus service, so I think that, you know, you guys have that obligation there. But also, maybe we reevaluate and see if we can use those funds elsewhere at this point. So, I was rambling, but, okay, thank you.
Thanks, and if you guys can wait until after the meeting, I can certainly at least give my phone number. I'm sure some board members would want to talk to you, and then we can go from there. I know we can't solve everything in one statement or one thing, but I just want to let everyone know we're listening. We're not just kind of shooing you away, but I appreciate you guys coming there and speaking, so thank you. Okay, so next item is the consent agenda. The consent agenda, it consists of October 7th, 2025 Village Board meeting minutes, October 7th, 2025 Village Board executive session meeting minutes that are not for release, approval of the October 21st, 2025 bills list, and a resolution authorizing the use of Route 52 Manhattan Road on Saturday, December 6th, 2025 for the Parade of Lights. So if everyone is in favor of these items on the consent agenda, I'd like to entertain a motion. If anyone wants anything removed for further discussion, we can do that. Motion.
Second.
A roll call, please.
Dillon.
Yes.
Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yes.
Begina. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next item under new business is, ordinance authorizing the execution of an annexation agreement with Skyline Real Estate Development for Butternut Ridge South. Like I said, this is for the next 3 agenda items. This is what it's going to be reading off of. And this pertains to the new Butternut South subdivision. So it's a 20-acre parcel, about 41 lots. If there's no questions or any discussion, I'd like to just entertain a motion to approve an ordinance authorizing execution of an annexation agreement with Skyline Real Estate Development, Butternut Ridge South. Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yes.
Begina. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes. Yes.
Adrianson.
Yes. It's just because I think we're missing one, and this is a majority vote, so
So will that be for all of them?
the next two.
Just for next year.
Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the same thing. It's ordinance annexing certain territory of the Village of Manhattan, Butternut Ridge South. The PIN number is 14-12-16-400-009-0000. So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Babyna. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yeah.
Adrianson.
Yes.
Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries. The next item on the agenda is pertaining to the same item. It's an ordinance rezoning certain property located within the corporate boundaries of the Village of Manhattan, and that is Butternut Ridge South, and the same thing with the PIN number is 14-12-16-400-009-0000. So, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve that as well.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Doyle.
Yes.
Babyna. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yep.
Adrianson.
Yes.
Neighbors. Yes.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the same, pertaining to the same property. It's a resolution approving a preliminary plat of subdivision for the Butternut Ridge South subdivision. So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Babyna. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Are you voting on this one? No?
Oh, no.
Okay. Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a resolution authorizing an agreement for certain consulting services between SAQ Consulting and the Village of Manhattan. This is Steve Quigley, has over 25 years' experience working with Will County governments and businesses on numerous infrastructure development projects. Steve's going to monitor, one of the biggest things that we see going on is a lot of legislation is drafted for solar projects and data centers that kind of leave out the village municipality portion of it in our say in it. So we felt that we want to see when legislation's coming up and try to have a voice before it gets to this level where we have no say and everyone's expecting us to try to restrict solar projects, which there's a lot of times we mostly object to them. But this was something that is brought up that we can have someone monitoring, a professional that goes to Springfield and work on that kind of stuff. So it pertains to legislation related to solar energy, warehousing, data centers, battery storage is another new thing that seems to be coming. He's going to assist the village and continue work with IDOT for improvements needed. And like I said, this was not put on here. I mean, this is a tragedy that happened yesterday, but this is what we were already, focused on, is improving safety and trying to get IDOT to work with us a little more. And he will definitely help with grant opportunities for the upcoming public works projects that we have. So, anyone have any questions? Steve is actually, I think, here tonight. If they have any questions, but I think it's a good thing to try and see if we can get some grants and try to get some answers from Springfield as well. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing an agreement for certain consulting services between SAQ Consulting and the Village of Manhattan in the amount of $3,000 per month.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Young.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yes.
Babyna. Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Sorry, I'm sniffling like crazy today, but, so, I can't get rid of it. Next item on the agenda is an ordinance amending Title 8, Chapter 4, Article A of the Village of Manhattan Code. This has to do with the water and sewer rates. So a few months ago, the village held a financial strategy meeting to determine how we're going to fund our new, in the future, new water tower and a wastewater plant. Some of these projects combined cost up to $50 million. At that time, we determined it would be, we would have to amend our water and sewer rates to cover the cost of the improvements. So our finance director, Justin, has put together an ordinance that increases the rates and removes some of the any of the caps, credit or limit associated with water consumption or sewer rates. So basically, this is going to be structured over a 4-year thing, and that way, you know, if we were successful to get grants, we can not implement certain ones, but if anyone has any questions, or Justin, did you want to mention anything, or any questions?
If there's any questions, I can certainly answer them.
Justin, maybe you can just kind of speak on this, but kind of where our current water rates are in relation to other local municipalities around us, just so people can kind of get an understanding of, it's been a pretty good deal for a long time, and unfortunately, you have to vote on raising them a little bit to pick up, you know, future infrastructure.
The rates in a majority of the surrounding communities, with the exception of those being smaller, the rates are higher in those other communities. And some of the rates that we're looking at for certain items, even after the 4 years, will be lower than those rates in those other communities now. So
Thanks. Yeah, I guess I'll just make a comment too. You know, it's never fun having these kind of conversations, talking about raising rates, and everyone's going up, the electric, the NICOR bills. It's unfortunate, but I mean, we're at a point now where our plan is not just we need room for expansion, it's old. And you know, you don't want to be Flint, Michigan on the news, not be able to give people good water. So it is unfortunate, but it is a necessity with a growing community and an aging community that you have to make these hard decisions. So,
and it's better to maintain it yourself. A lot of communities have been selling to Aqua or another company. I don't want to say Aqua maybe, but another third party, and then there's no way to tell what the rates will be. So we're just trying to maintain our own water and sewer service. John, you want to add anything? I mean, the wastewater plant's a pretty big project.
Yes, the wastewater plant alone is like $42 million.
And it probably won't even, and it's 3 or 4 years to do, right?
Right. So that's like our big project that's coming up. We have the Well 7 project, which we're in the process of right now, which is another $9 million project. So, and it's to be able to keep us at the water that we used to having out there. I mean, it's all radium removed and iron removed. We just don't soften our water.
Any other questions? So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve an ordinance amending Title 8, Chapter 4, Article A of the Village of Manhattan Code for the water and sewer rates.
Motion.
second.
Roll call, please.
Dillon.
Yes.
Neighbors. Yes. Doyle.
Yes.
Banina. Yes. Young.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is an ordinance banning the retail sale of kratom in the Village of Manhattan. Chief, can you provide an overview on the risks associated with kratom and why the board should consider banning it?
Sure, thanks. We've recently been running into a problem with kratom. Now it's kratom mixed with other chemicals as well, other drugs, stuff like that. But you know, with any medical call we respond to, we try to speak with the patient once they're sober and talk to them through it. But kratom can become an addiction. It's a dependence, you know, and you build your tolerance to it. You know, recently we learned from a 13-year heroin addict that he spends $18.63 to buy a certain amount of kratom that gets him higher than heroin, and it's legal. Now it's, you know, different. It's a, I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words a little bit. It's a synthetic drug, right? So it's not regulated by the FDA, and you know, with the legalization of THC and other things, you know, per se, kratom is not the absolute danger, but it's kratom mixed with other things, and they're finding sneakier ways to get these into our schools and get them to our youth, you know, including sell them as a dietary supplement, you know what I mean? But to hear from, you know, to hear from a recovered addict saying that, you know, he can take something that you can buy at a local gas station or tobacco shop that can do just as much as a Xanax or a heroin or cocaine or something like that. You know, obviously it's always about rehabilitation, not arresting people, but to hear that it's easier to get and to think that it might be sold to minors, you know, luckily we have some great businesses in town and we check them, you know, 2-3 times a year, and very rarely, I'd venture to say almost never, they sell to minors. But you know, it's been banned in several different states. You know what I mean? It's been banned in towns around the area. Shanahan many years ago banned the sale of kratom. You know, and it's in our experience of the few calls we've had with people who have used it, obviously used Narcan to reverse the use of heroin. And, but there is no, that I know, and I'm not a doctor, nor do I aspire to be, there's no way to reverse an overdose from kratom, you know what I mean? And oftentimes if you try to reverse it with Narcan, you can put somebody into a seizure, you know what I mean? So, again, I'm not a doctor. I guess my statements haven't been regulated or whatever, but, you know, I don't see left or right, I just see for the safety of the community, and I think this is what's appropriate to keep our kids safe as it finds its way into the school. You know, we're going to try to get it before it gets there, and I think that this is best.
Thanks. Does the board have any questions?
If we vote this in tonight, when does this go into effect immediately?
I don't think it's immediately.
So,
January 1st.
I'm sure that legal could speak on that, but we have a, you know, it's an ordinance, so I guess we have control when it takes effect, and I have a 30-day, what I prepared with legal is a 30-day notice to the companies in town, who I've spoken with, to stop selling it, and you know, I guess get rid of it, or, you know, and the conversations with the gas, with one of the gas stations is, you know, they see advantages and disadvantages of it, you know, but, you know, when you talk to someone who's buying $100 a day in kratom to get their high, and it's ruined their life and their business, you know, and they're trying to rehabilitate themselves, I think it's something that it's worth looking into for us.
So what's an alternative? I'm sorry.
It comes effective as soon as it's passed according to the body of the ordinance.
Okay.
But as the chief indicated, you can send a correspondence, but it basically giving what you want to characterize as a grace period for a specific period of time. I would keep it short to be consistent with the terms of the ordinance.
And you spoke to most of the business owners already, let them know that it's
Most of them, yeah, not all of them, most of them. I did talk to employees, but, you know, sometimes my message doesn't get relayed, but I try.
So what you're saying actually is that kratom is a substitute. Somebody can't get heroin or some other narcotic, it's another way to get high.
Yes, in my, you know, 20 years of being 21 in law enforcement, it's a legal way to get high, that we don't know the cure to helping people. You know, it's an addiction. It can lead to heart problems. Obviously, there's contamination risk when something's not regulated by the FDA. The DEA has named it a chemical of concern, you know, and I just think overall the risks outweigh the potential advantages. You know, I'm not saying that kratom can't help somebody who's sick, right? But what I am saying is that if you mix kratom with something that it's intended to be a drug, you can certainly achieve that goal. And while I'm not here to coach people on how to get high, you know what I mean?
Right.
We're spitting very real facts that you can, you know, off of kratom, and you can, you know, I mean, I thought one of the calls the guy was overdosing on heroin, and it was kratom, you know, and I knew nothing about it till he got released from the hospital and we were able to talk to him.
And Narcan can be an opposite effect to it. It can be detrimental instead of helpful.
Correct. And again, not a doctor. I don't know what the famous saying is, but my statements aren't confirmed or denied, but it wasn't beneficial when we used it, so I can speak on what I saw.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
About how many businesses are currently selling kratom in Manhattan?
4 or 5.
Wow.
I just want to say thank you. I think any way we can get synthetic drugs out of our small community is a good day. It's nice for the community to have problems like that, and you can prevent them, or at least reduce them. We should take action. So thank you.
Thank you. You know, you need to think too, you know, I understand our businesses and we want them to be very successful, but at some point we got to put stop doing profit over people and put the people first. And I think that's a great step that we're taking if we pass it.
All right, so I'd like to entertain a motion to approve an ordinance banning the retail sale of kratom in the village of Manhattan.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Neighbors?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Bahina?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Dillon?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thanks, Chief. Next item is a resolution approving the upgrade of the fuel farm system and equipment. Our fuel farm system has reached a point in which it needs some repairs and upgrades, and this is located over by the wastewater plant. So our public works, the police, emergency management, and the Manhattan Fire Department all share this system to fuel the vehicles. The cost of the repairs to upgrade is almost $37,000. And working with Chief Malone from the Manhattan Fire Department, he is going to be requesting that his board pay a percentage of that, which is about $8,600 since they utilize the system for all their vehicles to cover their part of the usage. So this was budgeted at $25,000, but more work than what was previously anticipated is necessary. So it came out to be $36,975. And if the fire department decides to pitch in their half, it would be reduced by $8,600, right? Yeah. Okay, so any questions on that?
Hey, John, I'm assuming we get fuel at a lower rate when we buy in bulk. Is that accurate? I mean, so is there like an ROI on that? Are we saving $39,000 over X amount of years?
Well, the system we have now is outdated,
Yeah.
so every time we have to do any type of repair, it costs us more on the repairs than the system works right now. That's why it's better to just go with the whole new system. We could have changed out just some guts here and there, but it would only been a temporary fix. That's why we decided to scratch that and just go with the whole new system.
Okay, we replaced that system about 10 years ago, didn't we?
But we did some upgrades to it.
Yeah, that's some upgrades.
But now this system is a
Okay.
completely new system.
I wasn't sure if we replaced it or we did upgrades. Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? All right. To entertain a motion to approve resolution for the upgrade of the fuel farm system and equipment by Petroleum Technologies Equipment in the amount of $36,975.
Motion. Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Doyle?
Yes.
Bahina?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Dillon?
Yep.
Neighbors?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Last item on the agenda is a resolution approving the upgrades and repairs to the village-owned property located at 245 and 255 South State Street. So this is where the Historical Society and Chamber of Commerce building is, which we own, and they occupied it. The second story bay window is leaking and has caused some wood damage. It needs to be replaced. Also, some of the brick needs to be tuck pointed and acid washed. We received several quotes for portions of the project, but only one contractor was able to do all in one place. So we complete all the work, and that's Unlimited Masonry submitted a bid to complete all the work for $24,900. So staff recommends using Unlimited Masonry to make all the repairs in one company. So basically, they're gonna fix that bay window, make it more flat, acid wash the brick, tuck point some stuff. I know Public Works is gonna end up painting the front of the, I don't wanna put you on the spot if you guys aren't. The front of the museum is like a purple color right now and it needs some work. So some of the wood replacement and maybe a different color that kind of fits the theme of that block a little more, just to kind of fix it up.
Correct, and the side of the building as well.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna paint that or acid wash that?
We're gonna ask to wash it, then paint it.
All right. And then put a mural on it?
Sure.
So, any questions on that? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve a resolution approving the upgrades and repairs to the village-owned property located at 245 and 255 South State Street by Unlimited Masonry and Construction in the amount of $24,900.
Motion. Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Bahina?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Dillon?
Yes.
Neighbors?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Let's see. All right. Yeah, motion carries. So So like I said, that's it for the regular meeting. We will be going to an executive session briefly. There'll be, I don't think there's any action after that, but I just want to say, thoughts and prayers to the families. The past 5 days have been rough. And also thoughts and prayers to our first responders, our police, EMA, and fire, and all other first responders that have been involved in such a tragedy to, be there. So I just want to say my gratitude to them and prayers for families. Todd?
It's hard to express, pain that the family are going through on that. And I've got a couple young kids on that. Just learning about like how things goes and on that. Just my thoughts and my prayers go out to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucinda?
So based on the recent tragedies, I really am lost for words. And yes, pray for the families and let's be safe, Manhattan.
Thank you. Bob?
I had about 1,000 things to say since yesterday I was on the scene of that accident. And I don't know even where to begin, how to say I'm sorry to the family that this has happened to. A lot of people are like, why can't we do something with the state? And I want to explain. I work for the state also for 33 years, and if it makes sense, they don't do it. We've tried, the village has really tried. We said administration before us. The police have put out and done as much as they could. You see public works, they're out there, they put signs out there. Everything is safety conscious. And it's a battle. It's a battle with the trucks that we're having. I don't know if we're winning the battle. We're shooing them away more and more and more. It's not a matter of revenue, it's a matter of safety. And kudos to all those that have really tried to change and make this community safe. You got up and talked about safety coming out. You've seen your son hit. Others have talked about 52. Trying to get things changed, getting permission from the state is almost an impossibility. But I think I can assure the people of this town that, especially after yesterday's, it doesn't have to be just yesterday's incident, but the incidents that have piled up over the years, that we're going to keep on moving forward and trying to do what we can, what we're allowed to do, to make it better for you. And once again, I'm sorry for the tragedies that have happened in this town. It should have never been, but unfortunately it is. So we'll keep on trying, I promise you. Thank you.
Thank you. Justin?
Well said, Bob. I wasn't going to say those things, but most of that's really true. I mean, that's coming from the heart, and it's a struggle. When you're a board member and you see social media, like, why don't you do something? It's like, we're trying. Try harder. We're trying harder. We'll keep trying harder. What happened, I mean, honestly, not just the accident yesterday, just the loss of life last week. I grew up, I don't really remember anyone in my school ever passing away as a kid, so I can only imagine what these kids are feeling and these teachers are feeling at school. I know I have 2 kids at home, ask a lot of questions. We've been kind of going through them, there's not a lot of good answers to give to a kid that just witnessed that. So that being said, we will try harder. We will keep fighting to protect the residents as best we can. We have a great police force that really does work with us and understands the vision and the mission. Going forward, I mean, we're going to keep fighting, right? We're going to keep pestering our state reps, and it helps when the residents do too, because we're always calling these state reps and asking for things, and we have nothing to give them in return. You have your vote, you have your support, so it does help when they hear from the residents too, not just elected officials. But trust me when I say it, we hear you. We are working with you, with the state reps, and we will continue to do that. And I just hope at some point we can get these trucks out of town. I just don't know what the immediate answer is myself. But once again, sorry for the families, what they're going through. I don't really have a good way of saying I'm sorry, but check on them. We're a small community. Get together, give them food, whatever they need, just if you know them, tell them we're thinking about them. If they need anything from the village, we're here too. So, and I know our police department as well will be there for anything they need. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Jennifer?
This is a really hard time for our community right now. I too have a 5th grader and an 8th grader who did know the children, both of them. It's just, I just want to extend my condolences to everybody involved, our first responders. It's been a rough week, I think, in my house, explaining to children that they don't understand what's going on. It's hard for them to process at that age that, you know, there's an empty seat in their classroom. So it's been rough. It's not a good time for us, but I'm happy to see we're all trying to come together, and we're gonna fight. We're gonna make sure that we keep everything as safe as we can for our children. And with that, I do want to say thank you to Chief Gawley for doing the Kratom thing. That's another part of just keeping us safe and keeping our children safe, and the things that don't belong on the streets are on there. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to give my thoughts and prayers to everyone involved in the past week, and there really are no words to be said. And that's it.
Thank you. Jeff?
Just want to let everyone know that, well, first I want to apologize to Bob. We set up some critical incident stress debriefing for our police officers, and I did not see that you were at the scene, so I'll make sure that you get on the list for the critical incident. That's going to be happening over the next few days in our police department. And a message to the community, these type of incidents do create a lot of stress for you, and it's normal to be upset. It's normal to be not sleep. It's normal to have dreams, bad dreams about these things. But if that continues more than just a couple of days, you've probably got a little more going on than just stress. So I urge you, if this type of incident continues to bother you a week or two down the road, you need to reach out to a medical professional, reach out to the police department. The police department has resources they can refer you to. We have a mental health professional that's on our staff that on a part-time basis that can help out. Don't suffer alone, get some help. It's important. That's the message I sent to our police officers. The chief and I, we spoke in depth about this today, about what we're going to do to make sure our officers can get by. We're going to make sure our community members that witnessed it, it had to be horrible to see and horrible to hear about. With 2 kids, it's probably a lot more stress than what any other community has to deal with that I can remember in recent times. So please reach out and get some help. Thank you.
Thanks. Mark?
Just wanted to offer my thoughts and prayers to the 2 families as well. It's a terrible tragedy, and it's mine.
Thanks. John?
Mine as well, just, you know, for both families, you know, it's a tough thing to go through, and you just can't imagine it, and my condolences totally for them. That's all I have.
Thanks. Carrie, anything?
Same, obviously. And if anybody has any questions for me?
Thank you. Justin, anything from you?
Same as everybody has said, though I don't live in the community. Last week, a community has had events over the years where things have happened with children, and it is always hard to, it's hard on the community, it's hard on the families, so my prayers and thoughts go to them.
Thank you. Chief?
You know, obviously, some of my thoughts and prayers to the family with them last night and today. It's been a tough 5 days for Manhattan. You know, the entire community as a whole is grieving. It's tough to lose 2 kids in one school, you know, in 1 week. You know, I hear you at the beginning of the meeting. I hear what you're saying. I see you. We're going to fix this. You know, we'll fix it, and you know, there was 40 truckers sitting today in Manhattan that shouldn't have been here, and we made sure they were aware of it. I don't have a lot to say, I'm lost for words. We're gonna work with IDOT, and we're gonna make it safe, so that the kids can enjoy the town in its entirety, not just subdivisions. And, we'll be better. Again, I'm at a loss for words. I had a great speech coming into this, but it's a lot harder once you're on the spot. And, I just ask that everybody pray for everyone involved, and, think of the kids in town and keep them safe. And we'll continue to do our best to keep them safe. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go into executive session. So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve executive session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, appointed or elected officials, and collective bargaining.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Bahina?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Dilling?
Yes.
Neighbors?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. And then we'll be back after that, but we won't be long.
Motion to go back into open session.
So I just need a motion to reopen open meeting again.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Bahina?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Dilling? Yes.
Neighbors?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yep.
Okay, motion carries. That's it for the meeting, so entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.